You're listening to the Rogers Waterfowl Podcast. This is Aaron Jones.
Chandler Smith here. Let's talk some waterfowl.
Peck off!
And we should be live now.
All right.
What's going on? You can see us, and we can see comments right there.
Yes. So we're good to go.
February 6th, last day of Missouri goose hunt season. It was a long.
So what ends today? Specs and Canadas?
Yeah. And then
Brants, too.
Yes. don't forget the Brants. That is correct. Yes.
And then we have the conservation order coming up really quickly. It'll be right up on us.
I'm trying to think for the life of me if I've ever seen a Brant that I'm aware of.
I haven't.
And you've been over. Do you guys see those ever? Are they rare?
I've never seen a Brant.
And I'm sure if I've seen 5,000 honkers, maybe there's one in there, but it's like a black duck. I mean, I first saw my first one that I can honestly say I saw a black duck in Kentucky, and that was
4 weeks ago.
Yeah, 4 weeks ago, almost exactly. But it was one of those instances where, you see a group of mallards coming, and you're like, boom. Actually, Bo pointed that out. He's like, that is a black duck. And I was like, holy smokes, that is absolutely a black duck. We couldn't get it to come in, unfortunately, but it was a situation where you 100% knew that was a black duck flying with those mallards. Mm-hmm. But a Brant.
Yeah, Brants they're one of my bucket list birds, I believe.
Sure.
I think that's one of the things I need to work on getting on within the next couple of years.
All right. But we got a good amount of people watching right now.
45.
Yes. Well, it's 11 o'clock unannounced random live podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but we usually start out with the live. We say, where you're watching from. Definitely put that in the comments. And then if you had a great honker season, you got into them, go ahead and give it the heart emoji or whatever. And then if you're ready for the snow geese, give it the thumbs up.
I could not give it a heart.
Or if you're ready for turkeys.
Yeah. Give it the smiley
face.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm ready for.
Yeah.
I do not get into snow geese.
And we got some guys popping in from Oregon, all sorts of stuff. But today we're going to kind of talk about goose season in review, our seasons in review. Josh here, he's put the hurting on some honkers and some ducks.
Been trying to.
Yes.
The past 2 months, really. I mean, it's been really pretty good. Guys, if you don't know Josh, he runs the Outdoor Limits YouTube channel, and it's duck and goose hunting, and all sorts of different outdoor stuff. He's been doing it for a little bit, for decently. How many years now?
5, 3,
probably 5.
I was going to say
5 for real. Started the channel when I was in high school, and then picked it up again. And then it kind of took off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And yes, it did take off, for sure.
It took off.
It took off. No doubt about that.
Yeah, and so
that's
primarily you're doing duck and goose hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This spring, hopefully I'll be doing some turkey hunting and fishing, but, I like to spend my time in the off-season talking about how to call ducks. Here's some tips on how to kill ducks and decoy spreads and gear reviews. So, I like to talk about duck hunting in the off-season. I'm kind of an addict.
Yes, as is anyone who's gotten into it deep knows that, yeah, it is very addicting. So this year, one thing I do want to know is when we spoke last, it was September maybe? Mm-hmm. It was before the season, maybe
October?
October?
Right after teal season.
Yeah, it was right after teal.
Yeah. You had talked about you've got your kayak, and then you talked about, you've got a canoe. Which one did you utilize more this year?
So I utilize my kayak more than my canoe. The canoe I've got is an 11-foot, 9-inch solo canoe. And when I first got it, I was like, this is going to be perfect for what I need. But my needs kind of changed between last season and this season, and it didn't really serve much of a purpose because I like to take a lot of decoys with me, and that little canoe couldn't hold a whole hell of a lot. So I like the kayak because the sit-on-top kayak, it holds 24 mallard floaters pretty easily, and it's a lot more stable, and I feel more comfortable hunting out of it, especially on a lake.
So that was the new venture this year, was the kayak.
That was last year's
venture. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
and you tried a little bit of the canoe this year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get out in the kayak much because public land wasn't very good in my area.
We had some water and rain and different weird seasons and stuff like that to play into that. So did a little bit on the kayak, but what did you find else that worked really well this year? We do have some guys on here jumping in from Wichita, watches your channel all the time.
Sweet, welcome.
And we got Jersey, North Dakota, Oregon here. I mean, all sorts of guys
Minnesota.
jumping in from all different parts of the country. But
That's right, Joey Mallards, bro.
Mallards, bro.
yeah. But so a little bit of kayak this year. But what else did you find that was really that really worked well? Was it certain spots or certain style of hunting? Were you hunting a lot of goose decoys and then killing mallards? Were you hunting, floater mallards, and then killing geese every once in a while kind of thing?
I think some of the most effective tactics I've had was utilizing an A-frame blind this year. One, it's more comfortable, and then also I think it hides more people better. So if you're hunting with more than 3 guys or even 3 guys in one A-frame, it works perfectly. And I've had a lot of really good luck on farm ponds with geese this year. And got multiple friends who've got some awesome spots. They take me along, and, without them, wouldn't be going on these hunts.
That's true, and I think you hit the nail on the head with the A-frame style of blind, often hiding 3 guys better, because I do visit and hunt with friends, and sometimes you try to get your blinds all brushed in. I leave some brush on mine all the time, and then I always grab what's around too. But your hide's only as good as your weakest link. So if somebody slacks on brushing in their blind, that's no bueno. So I think an A-frame where you can get somebody to just dive in and finish it off right there and get that job done. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you end up using 2 frame blinds quite a bit, or was it a lot of times it's just 1?
So most of the time I was hunting with like 5 guys. So we would put 2 A-frames together, and that worked out really well for us because, you get a little bit more room with 5 guys and 2 A-frames. We did fit 4 in the 3-man goose buster, but it got a little tight.
Yeah. So guys, if you didn't know, we make a A-frame style blind. It's called the 3-man goosebuster blind, and Josh got to use one this year. But we called it a 3-man because we felt like that's what we really needed to say. Because 4 guys, it gets really tight. You got a lot of guns sitting there hanging around. It's just, you're shoulder to shoulder if you're unless you're talking about maybe some kids can fit in there a little bit better. But 4 guys is a little much, so we called it a 3-man blind. But it's still 8 foot wide. But
and unfortunately, we are sold out at this point. We've had quite a few people ask, "Hey, snow goose season coming up. We want to get some, but we'll have more this summer."
We'll have some coming back in for the fall. Yeah. But it was a good blind, and so on your hunting a lot of ponds and like kind of loafing areas, I guess. What kind of decoys? Did you use a lot of goose floaters, or did you use full bodies, or was it a blend of everything? You throw out the whole loaf, kind of like.
It was a pretty good mix on the goose loafs that we were hunting. We would put out probably 2 to 3 dozen goose floaters, and 5 to 6 dozen full bodies on the bank, just kind of making it look a little lively and match what we've been seeing when we scout.
Yeah.
Shooting a lot of ducks over goose spread like that too.
Not a lot of ducks.
Not a lot of ducks.
No, a lot of geese though.
Did you have a good duck season this year? Ours was kind of hit and miss.
Mine was kind of hit and miss. I had a few good hunts, but mainly it was pretty hit and miss.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We had like 3 major fronts during duck season. One was right at the very beginning, one was somewhere in the middle, and one was like the last weekend for us. And we took advantage of all those fronts, but after that it was like 75 and great weather.
And that was literally the only time that the hunting was good too. That was good. It was
we had
solid.
Like some blizzards that would come in on Sunday. We'd be out there in the blizzard, shoot our limit of mallards, and then the next day we'd wake up and it would be 65 degrees and all that snow would be melting. It was just crazy. It was very up and down winter this year. It's starting to get a little, and it was kind of up and down January. It definitely got colder here, but it seemed like the good push of honkers really didn't show up till a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's for sure. We've seen a pretty good push of honkers. Now in Kansas, we still have 2 weekends left of goose season. I know. So
we're ending today. If we could go out this afternoon, we could get our last straw, last fighting effort. But it ends today, and Snowgy starts tomorrow.
After the podcast, we could make that happen, right?
Last day in Missouri, so But
You still got a Missouri stamp. You're good.
Yeah.
yeah, guys jumping in here. There's a lot of guys talking about their first time this year. Killed the first drake.
Nice.
22 geese this year. It's the first year, I think. Guy from Pittsburgh, Kansas, kind of local guy, but not. He watches your channel all the time. And
Sweet.
another guy, first season, he said he killed it in Utah hunting solo.
Utah is one of the places I'd like to go hunt.
There you go.
I think doing some Salt Lake action.
Utah and Montana both.
Montana honkers, Utah
Yes.
ducks. Mm-hmm.
No weather in Alabama
Yeah.
yet. He cut his grass.
He's been cutting his grass in January. Well, it's better than shoveling snow, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather shovel snow because that means there's probably birds in a field somewhere
Yeah,
or on a pond.
but
Yeah, with the loaf ponds though, all these warm days, it made for phenomenal goose loaf spots. They'd go for a quick feed, leave
Come
the
back.
roost, get a quick feed, and come back to a loaf spot. And those warm, sunny days.
did they?
And what we talked about, hunting geese on water, so much fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
Did they,
So
they
much
work
fun.
really well?
Oh,
It seemed like
my-
every time they're
yeah,
just kind of
just right into
maple
the
leaf
pocket,
and
10
just-
yards away from the blind.
yeah.
Just waylay them. It was a blast. One of my buddies, at 10 yards, I saw him smoke 2 geese with 1 shell.
Oh yeah, that
is fun.
that's pretty fun when they're that close and that tight. Did you have to do a lot of scouting? I mean, where there's like just kind of a lot of birds in the area, and they're loafing on here, and here, or was it just like one area, one body of water, one
It's
little
just
pond?
the same, mainly just the same pond over and
Yeah.
over again. It's just it's a hot spot, I guess.
Did you try to like not blow them out kind of thing, or?
Yeah, we were pretty selective on when we hunted it, but sometimes it came in as a plan B
Yeah.
when something fell through, and it's like, okay, we're gonna go hunt here, set up, and I think the worst we did on that pond was shoot, 13 geese. Which in Missouri,
Yeah.
you guys can shoot 3 apiece, but in Kansas we can shoot 6.
Exactly.
So I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
Like I was telling you earlier,
yeah.
we're looking for spots to hunt in Kansas more often than we are in Missouri.
Well, see, I live on the Kansas side too. We didn't get into the hunkers. It was very unfortunate. But there's some states I didn't even realize it that I made a post a few days ago, like how many birds you're allowed, and I think there's a couple states on the East Coast where they're allowed 1 bird this year. I'm like, man,
There were like 2 mallards.
yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Go set up for 1 honker and then you're done.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's a tough call there. I mean, I love hunting. I love chasing geese, but for 1 goose, that's tough. And that's what I don't understand, too, because if you're on the border of that state, you might be right across the river from a spot where you can shoot 3. For instance, Missouri and Kansas, we can literally just go on the other side of the river and go from 3 birds to 6. It's, go figure. That's how it works.
So Johnny's jumping in here. He's saying that he's got a youth hunt tomorrow. I'm guessing ducks or something. I don't know. And he's got to watch for snakes. So that's the type of weather he's dealing with.
Yeah, it sounds
No
like teal
thanks.
season here.
Yeah.
Yeah, snakes, alligators. And
Yeah, all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. I can handle snakes. They don't bother me. Alligators, I might be a little.
I'm always, when I'm wading in farm ponds, I'm always scared I'm going to step on a snapping turtle and it's going to bite me. I've kicked some turtles before, but I've never been bit. Leave in the comments.
Yes.
Have you guys ever been bit by a snapping turtle
Or
while you're wading?
You guys down south, have you ever kicked an alligator underwater while you're wading? And is it true that like they won't bite you while they're underwater? Is it like you pick a skunk up by its tail and it won't spray you either? I mean, is this
I don't know about that one.
is this all real or is this like fake news?
Interesting. I mean, I haven't encountered anything besides large stumps when I'm wading, and
then they usually
Or a rock.
yeah.
yeah, large
We have-
stumps.
we have
Usually, I
a-
fall victim to those.
A little overflow of a river area we hunt, and it is Stump City, and
I'd rather deal with stumps than silty ponds.
that is true.
Oh.
We agree. This place, though, I will tell you, it's a silty and stumpy, so it's the worst. It's the perfect duck height level, and it's muddy, and it's just a great little spot. But it's not very deep, but it is silty, and there's a lot of stumps that are just under that water this year, and
Don't get in a hurry.
you just start getting hurry moving decoys around. You don't think about it. The next you step on a stump, and these stumps are so big that you can't like recover. Like your next step is like on the top of it, and then you still are falling. And every year, one person is always going to eat it face first in the water. and you got to figure out. You're so low, so you really got to figure out what are you going to get wet, and you really got to try for your arms because if you don't, your whole waders will fill up and it's a mess.
Okay, we need to apologize to Levi. He said he's trying to do homework and we're doing a podcast. Thanks, Josh.
Anytime, Levi.
Yes.
Levi hunts with me.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
oh, what a studious person.
Yeah. I would be doing the same thing. Homework to the side, watching. Yeah.
So on these low pond hunts, sitting up on A-frames, trying to keep the sun at your back.
More with the wind at our back.
Yeah,
the sun doesn't play a huge issue.
So you got wind at your back.
As long as you get good grass on that A-frame, you try and cover up that big hole in the middle, keep your heads down. Usually no problem.
You really not cross shooting them too much or kind of angled a little bit, or just they're coming right in at you.
Just straight in most of the time.
So you got to work on that hide, make sure it's...
The hide's got to be good, and you got to keep the head down because they're going to be looking right at you.
Because sometimes they'll come in and then they'll swing out and around the blind and then swoop in. So if you got to keep that grass covered for the most part.
You work on the sides pretty good too, so when they do swing that...
Not as much as I should. It gets hard to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Cutting the grass and all that. Yeah. And then another thing that I struggle with sometimes is I'm filming with a camera. So sometimes I'm like, okay, can the birds see me? Can they not see me? I've found it's pretty easy if you get kind of wispy grass in front of the blind, you can kind of film through that.
Yeah. So you're saying do they swing once? You said they kind of come around and then jump right in. There's usually one swing, or
sometimes they just cup up and come right in. Other times they'll work you once or twice. Generally, by the third time they swing, you're either going to shoot at them or they're gone.
So you do some of the calling when those situations and they're coming in. So we've kind of talked about this in our last podcast, but for you, it's just different. Everybody's a different hunter. For when they're coming in, are you talking to them, or are you trying to stay quiet unless you need to? Kind of what's your calling thoughts?
My philosophy with geese on water is give them a little bit of clucks, some honks, and let them do the rest. You don't need to talk to them. I was always told to just talk when they talk. So if a goose honks, you honk back. No crazy lesser sounds on a farm pond. It's just not realistic.
Yeah, so you're just trying to you're playing repeat kind of back and forth. They hit it, and you try to hit the same thing, same tone. I think that's why I like doing it. Geese out there honking and you're talking to them, and you just start communicating, and it's pretty fun to bring them in that way.
Do you find yourself calling softer at all, since that sound can bounce off that water instead of trying to blow them out when they're coming at you?
I've never thought about that before, but I try to keep it pretty low and mellow on a pond because it's a loafing area.
You're not screaming at them. Yeah,
they're not fighting each other over a field. They're just on a pond, relaxing, enjoying the sunshine, and eating some grass, taking a swim.
Nice little Wednesday.
Yeah.
Some other guys definitely watch your channel, and another guy's asking if you're doing some turkey hunting. We were just talking about that.
We were just talking about turkey hunting. I'm hoping to get out and shoot a turkey this year. Might be a little bit difficult with all the personal stuff going on, but hopefully I'll find time to get out in the turkey woods.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I've got a question. All you guys from Kansas this year, Josh and I were talking about this. I live in Kansas. He lives in Kansas. So I had a buddy who called me last night, and he's like, dude, Kansas is only one bird this year. We just looked it up, and we read it, and it reads that units 1 and 2 are still 2 birds, but then I've got 2 different Kansas spring turkey zone maps, and I'm so confused. So you guys listening right now, what can you find? We couldn't figure it out from the 2 different spring turkey maps.
I would trust the one on the website more than the one that your friend sent you.
But it says Kansas spring turkey map, so
that's
why I'm confused.
Did it say 2020 or 2019?
It had no date. Neither of them do.
But the one on the website had managed turkey. I just don't know if that's different than just like normal. Like managed, is that only, I don't know.
But it's like deer management zones.
Yeah.
I don't know. Growing up in Missouri, but now living in Kansas, it's all kind of foreign to me on how they do things, because you get set on one system, conservation rules, seasons, and all that, and then it's hard to bring it all together for a whole new system. But I don't know. Spring turkey hunting is like my thing. That's what I love to do. So that really concerns me.
Yeah.
I felt it.
Are you still going with the bow this year, or are you going to take out the boomstick?
I've been saying for the last 3 years that I want to shoot a turkey with a shotgun again, because I haven't for like 3 years. And then I can't wait until the gun season, because in Kansas, a week ahead of time, you can go out with your bow. And so that gets me out there a week earlier because I can't wait any longer. And then, boom, I shoot them all on the same day, or one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and then that's it. So I want to shoot one with a gun
That's
again.
a horrible problem to have.
Exactly. But I want to shoot them with a gun. It's so fun.
Yeah. I want to do some running gunning this year.
It
A little
is.
more,
It's fun.
a little bit more than like set up a spread and hunt. I want to do some just like some like tons of locator, like move in, stock. I'm gonna do that. That's how I'm gonna hunt this year.
Okay, this year I'm going to try and hold out until gun season in Kansas. I'm going to try.
I might even do some cruising some rivers and then stopping and locating, and then go down a little bit farther and locate, and go down a little bit farther and stop and locate. And
That'd be kind of fun to do on a kayak.
that's what I'm saying. A kayak. I'd probably be using a canoe, but yeah, kayak, canoe, whatever. I've got some real skinny water, or some real tight river areas that I know have turkeys because I've seen them there in that area. And yet, I think the rule is you have to be outside the blind or outside the canoe to do the locator stuff. So you just kind of pedal down, go 100 yards or 500 yards, and then jump out. Get up in a good area to where your locator, if you're using an owl hooter or, crow, whatever, you can just beat the side of the canoe if you want to.
Well, yeah, shutting truck doors, that gets turkeys to gobble every time. So.
But then just try to find where some toms are at, and then you can go jump around.
Well, and the thing, too, is, all you got to do is pull the liners out of your waders, and they're comfortable enough you can just wear them. Yeah. So that works.
That's what I'm going to try to do this year. It might be fun.
That would be fun.
Do you bow hunt at all?
No, I don't.
Don't bow hunt. Have you shot a bow, compound bow?
I've shot one.
Traditional, yeah.
Yeah, I have a recurve, but
Yeah.
I thought about turning that into a bow fishing bow.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd do like recurve, Canada goose, loaf pond hunt.
Crossbow. I'd do a crossbow.
I've done a compound goose hunt on a pond, which is pretty fun. But
Recurves are so big and bulky, that would
It'd
be
be
tough.
tough.
You'd have to lay down and then at the last minute
But think about it.
it could be epic.
A-frame blind with a crossbow on top?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
would-
so fun.
Absolutely.
With the
Absolutely.
guillotine heads.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyways, we're just thinking of
Another Mallards bro
Yeah.
thrown out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's got a lot of good Canada goose hunts, guys. If you haven't seen the channel and you want to watch some of that hunt, that's what a lot of guys are jumping in and saying. We've had a pretty good season with ducks and geese, but it could have been better with the weather.
I can answer this question from Brandon. I'll tell you, Brandon, I always use like a Sawyer, like permethrin spray. It's the yellow stuff. You spray it all over your clothes. I do inside and out, and then I let it dry. But one thing I started doing it's probably been about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's going to sound really
you're
weird.
eating something, right?
I take a garlic supplement, like a garlic vitamin.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of garlic.
Yes, but you don't smell like garlic. But I just take a garlic vitamin supplement. I don't remember how many milligrams or whatever, but it's just one of those little clear gelatin things. And I can tell you for the last 5 or 6 years, as much time as I spend in the woods hunting mushrooms, hunting spring turkeys, looking for sheds, I don't think it's been... I've probably had 1, maybe 2 ticks actually that have bit and hooked in me that I found, a couple hours later. In probably 5 years, probably 3 ticks total. I'll find some crawling on me, but not very much. So the combination of the permethrin spray and taking a garlic supplement, man, maybe that's an old wives' tale, but it seems to have worked for me. So I just keep doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So a garlic supplement and that permethrin spray, and I'm no problems.
So does he start smelling like garlic at the office?
No.
No, he
No.
doesn't. But I remember he did something different. I've never done that, but I've done the permethrin for sure. We always do a permethrin bath, or we take, usually when we go up and do this stuff, either we're working on a deer property or we're turkey hunting or something like that in the spring. We'll drive up and, whatever clothes you got on, but then we'll have a next set of clothes in a bag that kind of goes out on a trailer on the back of the truck, and we drench. And a lot of times you want to do this the night before.
Yes.
And we coat this stuff and inside out in permethrin, and you got to let it dry, and then overnight kind of thing, and then put it on, and kind of you can tuck some pants into the socks kind of stuff and help that way. But it does. The permethrin does really well.
Now I've used several other brands. I think it's like Repel. They make like a green can, a blue can, a red can, and I've tried all of those, and I've put them on, and I didn't let it fully dry. And 1, it didn't keep the ticks off, and 2, it created some sort of rash on my leg, right? Was wet on my leg, and yeah, it was no good. It was there for a couple of days. So when it says make sure it's dry, make sure it's dry.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
And the guy who asked the question, Brandon, he
Yeah.
did say he heard about the garlic supplement thing, and he thought someone was messing with him.
Dude, I promise you, Brandon, it has worked for me. Now, I don't know, but it works for me. So I stick to it. Maybe it's superstitious, but
He looks a
whatever.
little yellow during, that time is,
Turkey
here,
season, yeah.
But that's all right.
So, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. I encourage you to try it.
Yeah. I'll have to try it.
Do it.
We'll have to see.
If I hate ticks, and especially with that crap now where you can't eat the red meat from the Lone Star tick, I want none of that. That's not for me, thanks.
I mean, I'm probably a 5 to 10 a year kind of guy. I use permethrin a lot. Sometimes we get lazy and we just have to rely on really heavy duty bug spray, but I'll have to try it and see if I can get less than that.
Works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sticking to it.
We
Another
kinda-
Mallards bro out there.
Mallards,
What's your
bro.
hat say?
Oh, it says Spoonies, bro.
Hey, there we go.
Give me
Hollywood.
some Spoonie love.
That's right. You have to. Yes.
So we're, I guess it sounds like our minds are on turkey right now, but the spring conservation order for us starts in tomorrow.
Yeah.
But for you, I don't know if it starts tomorrow or not, but you got any plans to do any of that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Working on something?
I'm not a big snow goose guy.
Yeah.
But if I get a phone call from one of my buddies that says, "Hey, I got a snow goose feed," I might go. But snow geese, they're the white devil.
Literally.
Hate them.
Yes.
Hate them.
So I don't hunt them much anymore, but I used to live up north where a buddy and I, we tried to have some snow goose spread. So we'd get like 10 guys, and between 10 guys, we'd have several hundred snow goose decoys. But one, you got to have 1,000 decoys or it's not going to work. And two, we'd set out 500 or 600 decoys and we'd get them all set out. And then you'd get a group of 25 birds that would go sit in the field next to you. And then all the rest of the afternoon, thousands of birds would go where those 25 did. And you're just watching them. It's just, they're the devil, white devils. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't like them.
I don't like
Too
'em
much
either.
work, and to me, that's one of those situations where if I really want to shoot some snow geese, one, it's guys that have already got all the stuff, or two, just pay whatever and go with an outfitter for a day or two, let them do all the work. If you really want to shoot them that bad, go with an outfitter. It's easy. They do all the work. You just go and sit and shoot.
Yeah, one of my friends that I went with last year is an outfitter, and it's the way you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so much easier.
Yes, I've got a friend too that is an outfitter for that. I might have to hit him up this year because it's been a few years, but I don't have any desire to own a snow goose spread at all.
Or the room, right?
No,
It's like also another storage unit you got to do or something.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, you got to have a whole other outdoor barn or facility to keep that stuff. Levi said that you will have a turkey bow kill this year, by the way.
Oh,
It might be news to you.
I didn't know that. He's never told me that before.
There you go. And in Kansas, you can use crossbows. Oh, yeah, Missouri, I guess you can now too, can't you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they don't have a separate archery season over here in Missouri, and you got to quit hunting at 1, and you can only shoot one bird the first week. Lame. Missouri, lame.
yeah, well,
But
yeah.
they got good numbers.
We got good turkeys, and we got some rules to follow, and we'll get out there and get at them.
Yeah.
But
Sean likes turtles. Excellent.
yeah. So decoys and blind hunting loaf this year. What kind of steel were you using this year? And did you try different things out?
Like shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
was
kinda-
using for pretty much the whole season. I was shooting black clouds, and I was shooting the 3-inch double B black clouds at geese and 3-inch 2-shot at the ducks.
Did you like the way it worked for you this year?
Yeah, we're great.
Now, what did you shoot last year?
I was shooting federals as well.
Okay. So you've shot them for a couple of years, so you didn't try and switch anything up this year.
Yeah, we got Speed Shock has been a really big hit this year, and Black Cloud's always a really big one, and then the TSS. Did you shoot some of the TSS?
Yeah, I shot some of that TSS this year too. Got
Yeah.
to try some of that out, and
It's fun.
oh my gosh,
So I was
It-
up. Yeah,
nails the geese.
yeah. I was up in Canada and watched a guy shoot a snow goose at about 90 plus. It went down for sure. And he said he had to leave it by like 2 canoes is what his length was. And I don't know why he used canoes as a measurement, but he said when he was leading it, it's like 2 canoes length. And you could hear the shot, and then you could hear the impact of the TSS. And then you could watch the bird fall.
But it's a snow goose, though. Snow goose, 1 BB.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's crazy to hear it.
Yeah. No.
Because it was boom, and then it went, brah, and then it fall.
But yeah, I shot a goose at probably 45, 50 yards this year.
And just stoned it.
Stoned it like it was at 20. That stuff doesn't mess around.
No.
I shot my turkey last year with some of those TSS turkey loads as well, and those things.
Oh yeah.
They pack a punch.
That's what I want to use this year. I've always, been a kind of a bow guy for turkey, but I'm just gonna run out there with a 3.5 inch something, TSS or something.
I've still got so much Longbeard XR that I bought 5 years ago.
That's the same with me. I got some Longbeard XR that I haven't used up yet.
Yeah, because I haven't shot up. Yeah. So I'll shoot that.
You
If
have
I
to
can
wait,
hold
though.
out. Yeah, if I can
patient.
hold out. That's why Nebraska is fun, though. March 25th, it opens up.
Really?
Yeah. Super early. Or, down south, I think. Hey, what happened to our feed? What'd you do? Hello? Are we still there? We're working on it, guys. We still there?
It looks like it's still there.
Okay.
It said waiting on live feed or live video, but I don't know if we blocked that or not.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, down south, I think Alabama, Mississippi, they open up a little earlier too, but Nebraska's close. And you have connections in Nebraska, so that makes it simple. So it's good for those guys that don't want to wait until mid-April like Kansas or Missouri.
Yeah. So what did you you did a little bit of traveling, not I guess for your hunting season. You did Nebraska and obviously Kansas and any other states?
We went to Missouri.
But that's kind of that area you kind of hung around in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do some more traveling next year.
Yeah. See, Oklahoma would be a one to go. I mean, they got some good waterfowl down there, and it wouldn't be too far.
Oklahoma or Texas would be nice.
Yeah. Any thoughts of going to Canada ever?
I'd like to, just to experience it.
Yeah.
But it's expensive, and I don't know.
See, to me, I've never been to. I've been to Canada many times, not for waterfowl hunting, but I'm all about. I'd much rather go to like Utah or Montana or places like that because yes, I love to shoot birds, but it's all about just the experience and the idea and all the stories you hear about like those locations and just mountains in the background with honkers and stuff like that. To me, I value that just as much as a pile of birds. It's a lot about the experience. So
you'll shoot your birds regardless, right? Unless you get severely unlucky. 5 birds in Canada is the same 5 birds in the States. Yeah. But I don't know. Early season geese is something I'd like to try too. South Dakota does that, North Dakota.
Yeah.
How early?
I don't know.
Like September.
Yeah, there's some that are pretty
August.
early. I know we have an October early goose in Missouri, but I know that Minnesota and some of them up there have some early goose. Like we're talking like our waterfowl weekend's going on, and people are like, "I'm buying goose decoys because tomorrow or like next week I'm going goose hunting." I'm like, "It's August, dude."
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to go shoot geese wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Crocs.
I have to figure out the dates on that, but there's some. I think Minnesota's got something like that, or they did, and I can't remember.
Anybody from Minnesota watching, let us know when your early goose season is. Wisconsin, Minnesota, somebody up there has an early season. I know they do.
No, I was looking online at some cool places like San Francisco Bay.
That would be pretty cool.
Something like I think it was San Francisco Bay. I don't know, someplace down in California, kind of by Mexico.
See, and I think too, like I want to go. I mean, we've talked with Mario from FH several times, and they said they've got 5 or 6 different subspecies of geese. Man, I'd love to go out there and just stack up 4 or 5 different types of geese.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah.
I just want the big ones.
Yeah, the giant honkers.
Yeah,
exactly.
We were
hate
talking to
little
Bo
geese.
Brooks. He's like, "All right, guys, these guys are talking about the big geese because he's from the Pacific Northwest too." And he's like, we get to see all of these cacklers and all these different.
See, we
different
don't
geese.
get that around here.
Hate cacklers.
And he's like, "Guys, we're talking about the big, like the real big ones." It was kind of funny because I think they have some geese out there. Like, oh, there's some big geese, but they're really not what we see here in Kansas. We have some.
They're not feet the size of your hand.
Yeah. Wing spread the size of
So we got
bigger
some
than
guys
yours.
there. Steven, Illinois.
Early
September 1st.
September in Minnesota. Yeah, Illinois September 1st through the 12th. So that's before our teal. That's if you want to travel and do a little bit of early honker. Oh man.
Somebody wants to know what shotgun you're shooting.
Oh, Winchester SX4.
Okay.
SX4. You like it?
I love it.
Yeah, good.
We're Benelli guys.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got a gun, doesn't jam up on you that you like, that feels good, and you shoot good with it,
It doesn't
don't
matter.
change it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it
It
is.
shoots birds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been beat up though.
Oh yeah, I'm real rough on mine. Too much probably, but
Yeah. I've seen you dump water out of it many times.
yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
It still shoots.
Exactly.
I'm a little bit too confident. My first gun was a Stoker, and if I got water in it or something weird happened, it wouldn't eject the shell right.
Yeah.
And then I jumped into a Super Black Eagle, and then I've really put it in some bad situation, and it still runs like a champ. So I'm pretty proud that it does that. But I also now I'm probably a little bit more relaxed in my care when I'm in the field.
Use it as a boat paddle,
yeah,
break
whatever,
ice
breaking
with it.
ice, boat paddle, whatever, sitting in the mud. You know, a lot of guys I see when we sit in like these muddy areas, they'll like get a piece of like a blind bag where they set their gun on, or they get a bunch of grass and they pad it up for their gun, and mine's like 3 inches into the mud, and the mud's just all the way up the stock and whatever.
Yeah, mine's got a bent rib and covered in rust.
But it kills birds.
It kills birds.
Yeah, mine got a little bit. It's an older shotgun, but it got a little bit of rust spots on it. So I said, "Screw it, I'm gonna Cerakote it," and then I've done some other accessories to it to make it a little bit more bulletproof. So I like mine.
Brandon wants to know when you're getting a dog.
When I get
Oh
it
yeah,
done.
that is gonna be.
That is the debate.
You need to get that this spring.
Where's the debate and with who?
I'm getting married in April.
That's why the turkey's
honeymoon
gonna be a little bit
in May.
iffy in
Yeah,
April.
I know. It's this whole like personal life stuff. It's kind
Yeah.
of getting in the way
Yes.
of hunting. But
Yeah,
I do want to get a dog
Sure.
soon, and whether it's to hunt it with this next season, probably not. But hopefully, I'll get a dog. But I want to make sure like it's trained well, and
Because it's got to sit in the kayak with you.
oh yeah. My ideal dog that I want to get is a small female yellow lab. That I just like the little ones. I like the size of them. They'll work great for my hunting style. They'll retrieve geese. They'll retrieve ducks. And for me, I don't know anything about dog training. I've never owned a dog in my life, so I would probably opt to have a mostly finished dog, and then work with it from there.
That's you can't go wrong with that. Let a professional that knows what they're doing take care of that. They can educate you a little bit along the way, and then, yeah, you'll have a great dog that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure, nothing wrong with that at all.
Do you guys have dogs?
No, not yet.
I've had dogs over the years, but none of them waterfowl dogs. So that type of training is completely foreign to me. I've got people that have waterfowl dogs. I've worked with them a little bit, but not to the extent of, okay, here's a puppy and I'm going to train this dog and it's going to be a finished dog by the time I'm done with it. I don't have that level of experience. So I would probably go the same route you are personally.
Mostly finished to where like it's got basic commands done, but then you can hone in with the dog and get to know it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm a DIY guy. So if it's not if, but when I do something like this, it's going to be, I'm going to dive into every book and thing I can get my hands on. And I'm going to be, communicate and work with people in the area who've done it, and just dive in head first and try to get it done myself and how I want it to be done, I've seen a lot of good working dogs. I've seen a lot of dogs that aren't. So I definitely know where I wanted this path to go, but I just...
When it comes to training, I think, and the people I've seen train their own dogs, you definitely get out of it what you put into it.
That's for sure.
That is one of those things. Now, I would probably have a waterfowl dog mostly finished, but then I would take it one step further and train that dog to find shed antlers too, because that's one thing I love doing, especially in the spring coming up real soon.
You should train a dog to find morels.
Oh, I've already thought about that too.
Is that a thing?
You don't hear about it, but like once you get in morels, you can actually smell them. So there's no way a dog couldn't smell them. Has anybody ever trained your dog to find morel mushrooms? Please leave a comment if you have.
Yeah. You want a shed dog.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you are a shed dog.
Yeah.
I'll go find like 3 for a whole morning when we're out here and doing work on the deer property. He'll come back like he can't even hold them all. He's just you got them everywhere in your hood, like a big armful, and he just finds them all.
One of my friends, they use duck totes to carry their antlers when they shed hunt.
Oh, don't call him that. He won't see him for 8 hours.
Just a tip.
Nice. I have not thought about that. That is brilliant. I
We'll
usually
go
just
out-
strap into a backpack.
Yeah, we'll go
but
out to the
that's-
deer property and we'll either be maybe burning or mowing or getting ready, doing some stuff to get prep for food plots. And we'll spend some time shed hunting, and it'll be like an hour's worth. And I'll really strike out. And Aaron will be walking in the weirdest places, and it's just, he's got the
pile.
whole bucket full just everywhere.
I love
pretty
it.
funny.
It's one, it's just fun to walk in the woods and it's exercise, and two, you've been cooped up all winter. So, because from like basically the end of January to the 1st of March, February just sucks. There's nothing to do. It's before turkey season. I'm not a snow goose guy, so you've been cooped up for a month. But spring, everything's coming to life. If you got a deer property, walking looking for sheds, man, that really gets you out and you learn more about the property. You find the bedding areas, you find the food sources, the trails going back and forth to and from, new potential stand sites. I love it.
Yeah. It's good for the deer.
Oh yeah. And you find out who survived the season. The Orange Army.
He survived the orange
Yes.
army.
The orange army.
That's exactly right. So what do we got here? More comments.
So, I mean, he was asking who has a SX4, just like you. He was asking about how often do you oil it and that kind of stuff. Let's see, he's up here.
I think I read that one.
Yeah. He's never used a gas system. He's just asking how often you oil it. And then somebody else is jumping in. Saying the gas system is dirty, but definitely easier to shoot, less recoil, so your follow-ups are better.
So when it comes down to cleaning my gun, once every 2-3 weeks I'll clean it. If I notice it's getting really dirty, then I'll go ahead and clean it then. But most of the time it's not too bad. And
Mine usually gets a once over after the season, or if I think I'm taking it turkey hunting, a once over after turkey season, so it's clean from like the 1st of June to about the 1st of September. And then after that it's teal season into duck and goose, and then it never really gets cleaned.
yeah, I haven't noticed anything too bad with the gas system. I like it. It shoots great. I shot my buddy's Beretta. I think he's got the A300. And comparing my Winchester to that Beretta, they're both gas-operated guns, but the Winchester does not kick as hard. And it's
Really?
I think it's a little lighter too.
Interesting, because usually the lighter gun will, I think, kick a little bit more than a heavier one, I would say. Isn't that right? But where was I going with that? I clean my gun 3 or 4 times a season probably. But like Aaron was talking about, like one of the spots we hunted last year, and we still have hunted it, we had to like wade through almost filling up your wader level, and usually I have my gun over my shoulder and it's getting soaked. So I don't like it to sit at home that bad. So it's about 3 to 4 times a season I'll clean it, and then but when I'm out there, I'm throwing the protecting the gun from getting dirty is all out the window. I'm there to hunt, and it's going to get put wherever it needs to be put, and it's going to get muddy, filled with water, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I always keep mine in the case in the jet sled. There's a lot of times you didn't. It would go in the
no.
bottom of the jet sled
I
and
don't-
then decoys on it, and then
Yeah, I didn't. A lot of times the gun case didn't even leave the room. It's like the gun just went along over my shoulder and got out thrown in the sled, and
is what it is. And it still works though, man.
yeah.
So yeah, what's next? Snow goose and then turkey
And
Yeah.
fishing.
and
Fishing.
then fishing.
Yeah.
I didn't do any fishing. You do a lot of fishing? I mean,
I try to.
Yeah, he's about to start kayak fishing.
Mhm.
Hey,
I got into crappie fishing last year. I used to be big into bass fishing, and I said, I want to try crappie fishing. And I started doing it. I'm like, wow, this is pretty fun.
Yeah,
well, then they taste a lot better.
they taste really good.
Oh, I'm not a big fish eater.
What?
Really?
Yeah. I mainly just throw them back.
Oh,
I
man,
just do it for-
crappies.
I do it for fun.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
but
you go
man-
fishing with me, you can take my fish.
Okay, deal. I love crappie. They're so good. Fresh crappie, fresh morel mushrooms in the spring.
Oh, I'll do the mushrooms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't even talk about the trifecta there. Is like,
Yes.
like spring turkey, crappie, and fried mushrooms
Yes.
all in one day.
Oh yeah,
It can be done.
it can be done. I have been a part of that before, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we've definitely been turkey hunting to where, like, after we're done turkey hunting, we're catching crappie. Like, like we didn't even leave that area.
Yes, the trifecta. That's
Yeah.
It's so good.
We got a random question. They're just asking if we do a podcast later in the day. We normally do, but we got this one. We didn't know if we were going to do it live, but we were going to do it today here early in the morning. This podcast will be posted
On YouTube.
And
You can watch it later on Facebook.
and you can listen to it like in your car on our Rogers podcast, and that'll
Sure.
go
So
next Wednesday or something.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher,
Stitcher,
Google,
whatever, Google
Spotify.
Podcasts.
It'll be on all of them, so you can listen to it there. But if you want to watch it, obviously it'll be on Facebook. It'll live there forever. It'll get posted on YouTube next week as well, so you can watch it there. But yeah, Josh, we really don't do a lot of live podcasts. It's just when we have the opportunity to have someone here, we'll just we'll whip one out. And we surprised Josh with one. He's like, "All right, live, sure."
I thought
cool."
we were just recording it, and then you're like, "We're going to turn the cameras on." And
yeah,
go.
why
And
not?
I'm like, "All right,"
So
but yeah.
it's always fun. People like to watch them.
So, anything else interesting happened this year? Kind of season review. Just black cloud 3-inch BBs and a lot of goose on the loaf pond. See a lot of specks?
No,
No,
not a lot of specs in my area.
really.
We saw a whole bunch.
I thought the last
weekend.
video I saw that you posted, there were specks. I could hear them in there, and you're like, "Nah, let's go with the geese. I'm not worried about the specks."
Well, the specs weren't in season when I filmed that video.
Oh yeah.
So we had a bunch of cacklers and specs working us. I'm like, I don't like this.
yeah.
Can't do
So they
anything.
weren't in season, huh?
Then two honkers come in at
Yeah.
25.
I don't know. For me, this season was probably one of the poorer seasons for me personally. Just I didn't get a lot of hunting done. I was really busy and committed in the 3 weather fronts we had, so I really didn't get out much. And other than that, I mean, all the birds in this area seem to find those small holes of water in neighborhood ponds, city lakes, just up north of here, outside of the metro, people have, a 2-acre lot and they've got a half-acre just pond next to their house. And if any of that small water never freezes up, they never go to the big water where we hunt. So
Yeah.
they're just sitting in backyards, city ponds, parks, neighborhood ponds, and that's what I ran into. And it just wasn't a good season for me. So 2020 is going to be a better year.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully public land is better this year, because most of the public land that I hunt and I know really well, it was underwater all summer long.
It never got planted or anything.
There was no vegetation in it at all. So no ducks.
Yeah.
Just wasn't attractive anymore.
No. And I mean, sure, the little bit of wild stuff will grow up in it, but it's nothing like, corn, the millet, the beans, anything that get planted that.
Yeah, and,
row
and
crops.
a lot of the marshes that I hunt, they don't plant that in there. So it's a lot of just natural smartweed and barnyard grass and aquatic vegetation that the ducks love. But in order for that to grow, it has to be dry.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And then it has to get sunlight. And if it's under 4 feet of water, you're not getting any of that.
There's so much stuff that they eat that we don't even think about or we don't even know.
Little bugs in the water.
Snails, bugs, but like even the type of like vegetation that I don't even know the name of all of it, but they, that some of that natural stuff is good, but like you said, it's got to grow at the right time naturally, and it's got to,
If there's no food, there's no ducks.
Facts. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't get everything flooded out again in the Midwest this year. It was tough.
And we're in better shape this time of year than we were last year, I think. We haven't had as much snow and
No, not at
rain
all.
and weather.
The only thing that worries me is I haven't paid attention to the snowfall that they had in Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota, because that all dumps into the Missouri, that snow melt. And then if we get, 30 inches of rain in March and April on top of that, something crazy like that, then you've got the snow melt and all of that. And that's what killed us last year. Mm-hmm. Not only all the rain, but all the snow melt. So anybody watching up in Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, how's your snow situation? Are you going to, is it going to be absurd? Of course, and then a lot of that, too, people want to blame the Corps of Engineer for, holding the water and then dumping it out all at once on the dam systems along the river. It's a mess.
yeah. Well,
I don't have it figured out.
just hopefully we don't have as much. We had highways knocked out and stuff.
Literally
Yeah.
knocked out. Interstates closed.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
So this guy, Chad, he's got a mushroom walleye turkey poor man's grand slam.
Hey, I'll take that, too.
I'll take the walleyes.
Yeah.
You can take the crappie.
Yeah. Walleye's so good. But, yeah, we don't have a lot of walleye around here. I mean,
No,
there's
we'd have
certain
to-
lakes in Kansas and Missouri where you can find them, but not common. Deeper spring-fed lake.
Yeah. Yeah. You can get some. We have a lake north of here, Smithfield, that they're there, but you have to know your stuff, and you'll have to be really going after them. But we find in the turkey season, it's like the crappie are just like easy. You can turn around. If they got crappie there, you can turn around any body of water, and you can usually find out where they're at pretty quick.
Well, and I think, too, in the spring, it's a good time to get kids outdoors because turkey hunting, it's kind of like waterfowl hunting. You don't have to sit still. You don't have to be quiet. You don't have to be scent free. So a lot of kids like to turkey hunt, but crappie fishing's so good for kids, too, because you get into them. It's a lot of action. It's not like bass fishing.
You're not fishing if you take the kid. You're the one taking the fish off the hook.
True story. But
Putting
they
the
enjoy
minnow
it.
on.
But
and
they
boom,
enjoy
do
it.
it again.
Worms, minnows, they love it. So, but
Yeah.
it's constant action, the crappie, usually if you're in a school of them. But, yeah. So, what else?
Trying to think.
Anything going on at Rogers?
I mean, we just kind of keeping up with all the orders. We had a great holiday season. We appreciate everything you guys did. But
Yes, thank you.
our snow goose flyer went out, and so our season starts tomorrow. So anybody wanting to go out there and give their best shot, or they're trying to add some full bodies or socks or whatever, we got the snow goose flyer out with a bunch of deals there, and then we have a in-store fishing event coming up at the end of the month. You'll see more about that next week. And if you guys want to see the turkey flyer, it's going to be here about the same time in a month. Right at the beginning, last little bit of February, early March is when our turkey flyer, and it's just for turkey. And I didn't realize how much decoys we carry for turkey decoys.
We carry a ton.
Holy cow. We got done with all the decoys in the flyer, and it was like 4 pages more than we did last year.
That's right.
Wow.
Digital only flyer, kind of like the Snow Goose flyer, not print, but we'll have links to
Very
it.
interactive. You can click on it and go in and all this stuff. But in this one, I have decoys, turkey ammo, turkey vest, turkey
Ground
clothing,
blinds.
ground blinds, chairs, turkey chairs, all the good stuff. Some footwear, that stuff.
TSS.
Yep. Some turkey TSS, some third
Recommend.
degree. Yeah.
Third degrees. Those
Third
things-
degrees?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the blend. I was thinking about that one too. You could do the straight TSS, or you could do a third degree, which has TSS. It has
5,
the-
6s, and 7s.
Yeah, and it has the flight stopper pellet, and it has copper plate. All three, 5, 6, 7. It's a pretty gnarly little load there.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I've not shot all of that. Like I said, I've got the Longbeard XR that I've had for, I couldn't tell you how long, like the first year it came out. And then I bow hunt all my turkeys, but I stoned a turkey at 51 yards a couple years back with it. It's probably been about 4 years, but yeah, just stoned one.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that's fun for me is the next page after turkey ammo is turkey chokes, and we have some TSS chokes. We have some 410 TSS chokes that are, because it's a thing. These youth are now using 410s and TSS, and they can kill any turkey a 12 gauge could.
Oh, yeah.
So we got some 410 TSS turkey chokes. We have all the big, Indian Creek Jebs, Pattern Master, all these
Carlson's.
Carlson's is the bigger one, like with the more options, but they have a TSS, they have an extended turkey, and they have an imported extended turkey, and they have a Longbeard specific one too. So they have, and there's some Primos too. There's a lot of options there, and you can really buy a choke kind of made for your load. And when I say that, the guys at Carlson, when they make a Longbeard choke, they are using Longbeard, and they are trying all sorts of different things to find the best pattern. So they've done a lot of homework for you. Mm-hmm. You can, the turkey guys buy their ammo, buy their choke, and they shoot it at a turkey, shoot and see paper target, and they get to see, okay, here's my spread density. Did I hit really well? Where did I hit? Did I hit high left or anything like that? But Carlson, they look at that certain load, whether it's Longbeard or TSS, and they find that right choke, and they kind of done a lot of work for you. And Primos has a TSS choke. It's just kind of cool, a little bit different than waterfowl. Not too much, but waterfowl we have, ported, non-ported, extended, different. Everybody's got their different rating. They call it mid and long. Some call it by the diameter.
Yeah. What do you use for ducks mainly? Mid-range, long-range?
Yeah, I shoot everything with mid-range.
Yeah. What have we missed some questions here? Oh,
Yep. You guys
Get
saying
even
we're
more
talking about.
excited for it. Yeah.
All right, so Dan is asking about the Rogers A-frame. So the Rogers Goosebuster 3-man blind. We talked about it at the beginning of this podcast, but we did really well with it. Josh got one real early and used it the whole season. We had a ton, about 1,000 of them, and
We sold out.
we sold out in December, I think.
Wow. I think I got easily 20 hunts minimum out of that thing this season because I hunted with it from teal season all the way to now.
You were one of the first to get a hold of it because, and you're hunting it in teal season. So they're going to get back in. I just don't have them right now for snow goose guys, which it sucks, but we got stuff working for next year.
Didn't you guys have a sale on a blind earlier this week?
Yeah.
It was probably we did Altan and the Avian X A-frame.
Yeah.
So
if you're not a part of the email blast that we do,
get signed up for that.
Or you constantly scroll our feed. Yeah, one of the ways you get signed up for the email blast or look at our feed. Sometimes we'll have A-frame blinds on sale. We'll have layout blinds on sale and all sorts of different decoys and steel shot and all sorts of good stuff.
So the easiest way to get signed up for our email blast right now would be as if you go to the rogersportinggoods.com, the homepage, and I think if you just scroll to the bottom, you can enter your email address right there. But our email blast, we're putting out 3 to 4 emails a week, and it's like the best deals. As soon as we're like, oh, we're going to put this on sale, boom, we add it to an email blast, and it goes out right then and there. So if you get our emails, you're going to know when the price drops, as soon as it drops. So, and like when we don't have a current flyer going on, that's the best way to get that deal is when we send out a couple emails a week. So definitely get signed up for that, and you'll be notified. So you won't miss out on deals.
That's what happened to the Rogers 3-man Goosebuster blind. We had
a ton and sold out.
Yeah,
is what it is.
This is our first year with it, so that's good.
Yeah, and you never know. First year on a product, you're like, oh, it may do well, it may not, and it did really well. So, and you liked it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like it better than the Avian.
Yeah.
And we're getting better. We're getting better and better every year with it. So we'll have some modifications, but we felt like it did pretty well once we got it dialed in. But yeah. So everybody watching too, if you hunt fields, are you A-frame style, bigger frame blind that hunts 3 to 4, or are you layouts? Because we make a lot of layouts too. I feel like it's trending frame blind, but you might not realize how many people are still running the layout blind.
I feel like I
kind
need
of
to do a Facebook poll on it.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
That'd be a good Facebook poll. I know you did one the other day about who's going to win the Super Bowl,
and 77% of people got it right.
77% of people picked the Chiefs, and that's been pretty fun. You've been here most of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're a big Chiefs fan, right?
No,
I'm
not a big football guy.
Oh,
honestly.
okay. I figured you'd be diehard Chiefs if you lived here your whole life.
Nah.
Yeah.
But,
I'll watch the game if it's on, but I don't really follow sports.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I know.
You follow ducks, right?
Oh,
Ducks and geese.
I follow ducks.
Yeah. We had some fun. It was a pretty good weekend. Everybody's kind of been on a kind of lighter step, a little bit of high all week, just stoked. But, yeah, the Chiefs did it. Pretty fun.
Let's see.
So, yeah, Clark just asked if you ever hunt 4 out of it. We advertised our Goosebuster 3-man as a 3-person blind because that's what we feel is safe and very comfortable to hunt out of.
I've hunted 4 out of it.
Yeah. Josh has hunted 4 out of that.
You just better have small friends.
Yeah.
Or you better be good friends.
Oh, yeah. That too. Yeah. No, 3 is the best. Actually, 2 is the best.
Yeah.
If you can put 2 of them together and you're hunting 4 guys, but you can fit 4. It's just not as comfortable.
Sure.
We called it, the reason we called it 3 because we didn't want people with 4 thinking they could squeeze 5.
Yeah.
Because
not going to happen.
Not going to happen. So if you're hunting a group of 5 guys, which 4 and 5 happens a lot, we recommend 2 blinds. And even if you have 4 guys and 2 blinds, the 2 blind look really makes you look like a ditch that's overgrown or a bunch of bales or whatever. The wider that gets, the more natural it looks. It doesn't just look like this random 8-foot blob of grass. You know,
Yeah.
the wider it gets, it starts to look like it's really set up. You know, maybe it's a mound of dirt, you know, that's just covered in a bunch of grass that's been there forever.
Yeah.
But,
So something about fitting like 5 guys in 2 A-frames, it gives you room if you have a dog. I know guys keep their dogs inside the A-frames, but it also leaves you room for a grill. And you can make breakfast. I've always wanted to do that. Never have.
You never have?
No.
We did that
You're too
Thanksgiving.
busy calling and killing birds.
Filming.
Yeah.
But we have a couple hunts a year. We're just like, all right, guys, this is the hunt. We're going to be out here longer. All right, we're bringing the skillet and the grill.
It's
and
more
all
about hanging out and food than it is killing birds.
Yeah. We're just like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a great time. We're going to laugh and call some ducks. And
Might shoot some, might not, but it's
But other than that, you know, we have really good breakfast burritos.
so that's what it is.
Yeah. And we don't forget the hot sauce. We do it all.
Yeah, literally all of it. It's good. So, anything else that we want to talk about? I'm trying to think.
So I'm kind of interested, and you can comment here, but, you know, what are some of the breakfasts, one of the weird ones, you know, that people cooked up? You know, I feel like it's always eggs, bacon. We did the tortilla and made some burritos, but, I mean, anybody done like sausage gravy in a duck
I'm
line?
sure.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. And why are you talking about this at lunchtime?
It's 12:03, yeah,
Oh,
our time.
I've had boiled peanuts.
Really?
that sounds really good.
Boiled peanuts are awesome.
Really?
You ever had them?
No.
Oh.
I might have. I don't recall having them.
Yeah, last season there was a gas station in town that sold boiled peanuts. So you'd fill up a big styrofoam cup with you and take them with you.
I don't know that I've ever had them. I've heard of them and I've seen them. I just don't know that I've ever personally eaten them.
They're awesome. I wish they sold them at gas stations. You know, I know like down south, you
It's-
go into
yeah.
gas stations, they got crock pots with them in there.
Yeah, it's just not a thing here.
No.
Unfortunate. Any big plans for Outdoor Limits this year, 2020, other than, I mean, the personal life, but I mean, as far as
2020. Well, I'd like to travel a little bit more and knock some stuff off the list. That's the main thing. Maybe a dog.
So
We'll
and,
see.
and the guys, we had a lot of guys on here earlier following that who say they watch your channel. So you're saying coming up, you have a little bit of some crappie kayak fishing, a little bit of some turkey, if you can get it in around all the stuff you got going on. And then we didn't talk about it, but you're going to talk about some of the gear that you use all year, some new reviews, so they can get kind of like what's your thought. I mean, you put some of these decoys, some of these blinds through the ringer this year.
Yeah.
Now you get to say, hey,
Here's how it held up.
this is what happened. This is what I thought, and this is how things went down. So that's what your guys can watch.
and apparently you're going to kill a turkey with a bow.
Apparently.
Apparently that's coming up in 2020
Found
Yes.
that out on this live stream.
Thanks, Levi.
yeah,
Thanks, Levi.
Yeah.
for sure. So guys, if you're watching the live
Outdoor Limits.
Outdoor Limits right here, and then if you guys are looking for some sales on some snow goose stuff, right there.
That's the front page of the website, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
you
is.
click right
Hey,
there.
show them where to sign up for the
Yeah,
mailer.
scroll all the way
Oh,
down.
yeah,
Right there.
right there. Right there. You guys see that? So, yeah, pretty cool. Snow Goose Flyer, sign up for the email right there, the website. And then if you ever
Outdoor
want to
Limits.
look at some stuff, all sorts of good waterfowl hunting stuff that he does right there.
Solid entertainment.
Yeah.
Subpar. As most of the comment section would say. Is
Yeah.
Subpar, trash.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Guys asking you to come up to South Dakota. So,
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. That early honker season, huh?
That's exactly right.
Get a head start on things. What
Yeah.
about? But I love dove hunting.
Oh, I do
Oh.
too.
That's
Yeah.
the, that's the deal breaker. With
Those
me.
little chicken nuggets, they're so good. I love
yeah,
those
if you guys
flying
like
chicken nuggets.
dove hunting, he has a pretty good dove video last
Oh,
year.
yeah. That was a good one.
Hunting over that little thing of water just on the top of the
that
hill or
little
whatever.
puddle. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
I didn't shoot a single dove last year.
He was duck hunting. You didn't?
No.
Where were you at?
Kansas and some terrible spots,
Really?
apparently.
Oh, geez. You're in Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
and you had some water, and you had mojos, and you said you thought you were duck hunting for doves.
Yeah. No, they'd come in and cup up just like a duck on a little pond. That
All
was
right.
awesome.
Yeah, that's what I want at doves. I had a pretty good dove shoot the year before, but last year was just nothing.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, we're over an hour, so
Yeah, we've been on here talking about duck hunting, turkey hunting, crappie fishing,
And
dove
food,
hunting,
and now
food,
it's-
and it's lunchtime.
yes, at least here in Central, that's
You guys
lunchtime.
listening might be hungry too, so
Get you some
you're
boiled
welcome
peanuts.
for that.
Get some boiled peanuts.
Yes. All right. Well,
All right, we're going to get out of here.
Thanks for being here, Josh. We
Yeah.
appreciate
Hey, no
it.
problem.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Yeah, check it out. Outdoor Limits is a pretty cool place to get lost in some duck hunting videos.
Get lost in the sauce.
Yes. Go down that YouTube rabbit hole and
Yep,
Yeah.
get dove into the
for sure.
channel.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you did, go ahead and give us a subscribe. That way you're going to get a notification every time we put out a new podcast. Chandler, what else should they do?
Go to our social media pages and give us a like on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Get us subscribed to YouTube channel. We do product reviews there. If we do a live or a recorded video podcast, we'll put them up on YouTube also. And then giveaways is a great part of our social media as well.
And then we just want to thank you guys for what you guys do and support us so we can do stuff like this.
Yeah, if you guys wasn't for your guys' support, we couldn't keep doing the podcast or all the social media and the videos you guys love.
Yeah, so thank you.